Boy, what a struggle. What a struggle. What an intense struggle. Let me just... While I'm back here, let me just double check that everything is good now. If I leave my Wi-Fi on and stream from Secret Show, the stream goes bad. Stream from Secret Show, the stream goes bad. Not a bad delay. Not a bad delay. Yeah. So if I stream live from the Secret Show with my Wi-Fi on, the stream goes bad. But if I stream from home with the Wi-Fi off, also bad. I think we've got it figured out. I'm having a word from the sponsors, guys. Keep an eye on the chicken. Be sure to keep an eye on the chicken. Hello, Jason. Hello, Bonghole. Everybody watching this now and in the future, please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. And please click the notification bell to be notified when we go live in fun moments much like this one. I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated. This stream could take some time. I've said this in each version of this stream so far, in which neither of them have worked. That we will play games tonight. We'll get around to it. We'll get around to it, guys. It's good to see you here. I'm telling you, I was a little worried I would never find you. Pooter in the chat. Hello, Pooter. What a day it is. Let's see. I'm watching on my monitor phone here to get the chat, and it's giving me an ad on I'm on a different account on that phone. So what I'm doing over here is I'm getting some water ready. Water and butter over here, ready to boil the stovetop stuffing. You do need this lid right here. Bring the heat up just a tad. Thank you guys for being here and your patience. I apologize. I was kind of caught up in what I was doing. I didn't notice that we weren't streaming. So we're zhuzhing up this southern dish that I love so much, and we are zhuzhing it to the highest of zhuzhiness. So instead of using water for the stovetop stuffing, this is totally a redneck meal, but we're fancying it up by using chicken broth in place of water for the stovetop stuffing. Okay, we need to get these opened up. And then probably ready to flip the rest of them chickens here. Honestly, let's swap places. You hear that nice? This spot in the center has been begging for something to cook, other than this guy over here. Nice. I'm gonna try to keep my eye on the chat. Somebody let me know if anything goes wrong in this. Yeah. Hell yeah, Marvis. Welcome everybody else. Bong, Rhino, Pooter, Beer, Jason, BP, everybody in the club. I am not trying to, I appreciate the suggestion of the sage, Jason, but I don't think I'm ready for that kind of flavor compound in my stovetop stuffing. I'm going with my old trusty, the chicken. Stir that in. Take it off the heat. Put a lid on it like a Squirrel Nut Zipper song. Let me check the temp on this one chicken here over to the side that I could probably pull out. I actually have a better idea. I have a better idea. Oh, hey. Oh, Netflix is creeping around back here all sneakily. They can hear you. They can hear you because I got this. They also have another microphone next to the sizzle. They also have another microphone next to the sizzle over there. They cannot see you on camera right now. All they can do is know that you're here. And if you walk within this spot or
yeah, I see. Okay.
this spot right here, you were on camera.
What are you making?
Chicken thighs, your favorite stovetop stuffing. I may do some rice. I don't know.
Something wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Well, I'm doing it. I took some constructive criticism from the crispiness because that's also what I want is more texture of crispiness. So
all you gotta use a bigger glass pan.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Is just
If it's a Longer surface area, making a thinner thing.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
I'm going to use this guy and make it flatter in here rather than. Well, I want to do it all in one, but I'm waiting to do. Here in a second, I'm going to start pulling apart some of this chicken. I'm going to take pretty much most of the chicken that's in here right now is going to get pulled apart to go in there with that. And I don't know if I want to saute an onion as well to throw in there with it, but I have an onion. I don't feel like going through the extra steps. I had to restart the stream a couple times because some shit went down and with the Wi-Fi, and it was just kind of annoying, but I don't know if I'm feeling the onion right now. Yeah. And I'm going to do, obviously the stuffing is going to be its own different thing. And I'm going to try to, I'm going to butter the top of it as much as I can and cover it in foil for the majority of the cook. And then like for the last 10, 12 minutes, I'm going to pull the top off.
Pull the top off and put the broiler on.
Yeah, I'm not going to broil it for 10 minutes.
Well, okay, close.
I'm going to take the top off.
What's the temperature you're going to have it at?
Probably 375.
Broiler's like 500. It'll take, a few minutes to get to 500.
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe 375, maybe 400.
Here's the thing is, take the top off.
Probably 400.
When you open it up, it's not like it's going to be like the oven. It's such a radiating heat from the top.
Yeah.
That it's crisping. It's not like baking.
Right.
You can open it up more often. You can check on it.
Right.
So just put it in the boiler and actually look.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have it on 400 now that I think about it because I want it to be, I do want it to get more, the more moisture that's in it, the least crispy we're going to have.
Well, no.
Generally.
Well, I mean.
So I'm just going to try to counter that.
Unless you bake it for a long time, the moisture will come out, but you're going to crisp the top. So what about a box instructions when you have to put the bowl?
Oh yeah, I'm going to bring you guys over here so you can see the next process that we go through with this, where I pull this chicken apart, and it's just going to be like I'm literally just going to shred this chicken in here, which, huh? Oh hell yeah, well, it's going to be done in probably 40 minutes, give or take. I mean, the chicken will be done. You can have some of that. But yeah. This here. This is just where we pull this thing apart. Because I do want it to be kind of crispy. A little bit more moisture in here. right. This is a fun process, yeah? It's gonna be nice. That's what I want on the bottom for that one. Oh, that dude's gonna be cooked to hell and back. Yeah, let's go ahead and just pull this guy apart. It's got all that butter down in it. Alright. That's enough pulled chicken there. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna keep all this stuff in here for the gravy, but I want a good connection to that center spot there. This piece of chicken I want this one right here so bad. This is mine here in a minute. Trash. Actually, I'll just transport it right there. This ain't trash yet. I want to put all that in there with the stuffing. And then I'm going to take the stuffing and stir this chicken into it. Now, now we got 4 more left. This guy's about to. All those little edges that got touched by the raw. There we go. Now we got 3 left. This is the chicken that I wanted. This is good. Crispy. I'm trying to be as efficient as possible, and I'm ruining it. To try and butter this pan. All right, I think that'll be good. That's enough. All right. Now, get all this about the same width. I got a better utensil to use for that. Yeah, give me this guy. Except I don't want it to be that smooth. No, I'm gonna just try to create some ridges in here for which the crispiness to itself attach. Now, how about this? That looks nice. All right, so now we've got pretty much everything prepped. The stuffing, I could probably do a little rice, huh? I got rice. I don't think it'll hurt nothing to do a little rice, maybe. One more thing, one extra step. I'll just do a little rice, like a couple cups. Right under the top of the E in Pyrex. That's what I mean about measuring. Like, obviously I use a measuring cup with rice, but So long as you get the measurement 1-to-1, you can use any cup. Fill it with rice to a specific line, and then fill it the rest of the way with water to this same specific line. That's all you gotta do. Take a moment from all of that to take a final bite of this delicious chicken here. This is the piece I wanted for myself. Very good, very crispy. You see that? Very crispy. This is what I wanted. So good. Just watching some rice over here. Y'all have seen me do this a million times. Just keep an eye on that. If anything weird happens, tell me. All right, this rice is washed enough. I'm only doing 2 cups. Just for a second. 400 degrees. I'm going to set a timer for 25 minutes. Hold on a second, guys. I'm doing some research. Hold on. All right, now we're back to the chat. I had to send some tweets. I usually don't use tongs, but ripping the chicken apart. This is probably somewhere around 135. Nope. It's way above. That one was already done the first time around. It was in the plate for a minute and it might have had some rawness around it, so I'm going to go ahead and give that another little Alda's gonna make some awesome gravy later. That's for sure done. Gotta be. Yep. This guy was already done. You can choose. Huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right. Now for the last measure. Of chicken. You know what? That's fine. Hang out right there. There's only 3 more. There's this guy. And there's this guy. And there's this guy. And that's it. That's all there is. That's all the chicken there is. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give this big pan a once over. I put the parchment down, but you know, you still gotta hit it a little bit more. Just in case. This is this chicken we're talking about here. So this whole thing will be done pretty soon, soon-ish. We got 14 minutes. At 25 minutes, 400. It was suggesting 400 degrees at 25 to 30 minutes. Put it on at 25. I do want it to be a little bit crispier than usual. So I'm on I'm going to wait for that timer to go off at 25 minutes, and then I'm going to pull the foil. Then once I pull the foil, I'll be able to crisp up the top. There was a time when I would slice up some butter real thin and put them in there. Put them on the top. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm gonna let it do its thing. Let's go have a word from our sponsors real quick, huh? How are you guys doing in the chat here? Hello from Canada. What's up, Chef Mario Cooks? What's up, Highly Educate Films? We're just cooking. Oh yeah, the fond in the pan's gonna be amazing. That is right. Somebody knows what they're talking about. That's gonna be some incredible gravy that we're gonna make, and should probably start getting the gravy ingredients together. Hell yeah. Hooter out here upgrading, updating, re-updating code. We're going to have a word here from the sponsors. And then I'm going to go back out there, and it'll be time to flip over a couple pieces of them chicken. Everybody gets a wrench. If I'm paying attention to the chat and see you in here, everybody gets a wrench. All right. Go back in here and see what noises this thing's making. It does smell pretty magical out here. Yeah, the gravy's gonna be next level for sure. All this stuff over here that I'm keeping to the side for it, you see. This is ready to separate, I'm sure. I know this has got to be. There we go. All this goodness back here. Let's go ahead and get our, I use this cup right here to mix up my gravy mix. I eyeball it roughly to how much I want. I didn't season the chickens on both sides. I want a good bit of gravy, so I'm going even more flour than that. Yeah, I'm going about in the cup that much flour, give or take. And redneck seasoning. I'm a redneck. I cook like a redneck. I'm a redneck. Good bit of seasoned salt in there. Also, crank out a few turns of some fresh cracked black pepper, enough to coat the whole top, like so. And garlic powder. A little more garlic powder. And onion powder. Now, just take that. What's up, Ron? Yeah, this is like a rocks glass for mixed drinks. Exactly what this is. Let's get you a wrench, Ron. Look, dude. Everybody, like, I'm from the South, and from the South, like, we season things significantly because, like, the only thing that I under season is steak, which in my opinion is the only thing worth under seasoning, is because I want the flavor of the meat in there. All right, so I'm going to use the rest of this chicken broth for the first round, and then I'm going to have to crack open another thing of chicken broth. That's also another thing that we do. We're making this gravy out of chicken broth instead of water. And I'm doing the less sodium because I put salt into the flour. I don't want it to be ridiculous. I do use salted butter, but I'm going to be honest, I'm a big salt guy. Some of my foods are even overly salted, but I would rather that than the opposite. I know that's crazy to say, but salt just really enhances the flavor of whatever you put it on. I think these chickens may be done. And then some. Let's give them a test. I'm gonna say at least 170. Which is supposed to be 165. I'm a redneck, dude. I get it to 170. I don't care. These are chicken thighs, man. It's kind of impossible to burn these things. That's why I use thighs instead of like breasts. All right, these chickens are done. So while I'm doing that, let's go over here and come and turn the rice cooker on. We already got the rice in there. Let's get that started. It's only 2 cups. It's only gonna take a little bit. So we got 4 minutes left and we ain't gonna need the press anymore. Let's bring that over here on a little bed of paper towels as to not drip. So yeah, I'm happy with these chickens here. They look like they got nice and comfortable with the heat. Bring them over here on the plate. And now is the fun part. Now I'm gonna just pull off the bottom of this pan. Try not to burn myself, but this is gravy, you're gonna burn yourself, you're gonna get some heat going. I want a little bit more fat, so a knob of butter should do. Because I'm making a lot of gravy, I'm gonna need a lot of moisture. And plus this moisture sort of coaxes this flavor. The moisture that this butter is putting off right now is coaxing a lot of this flavor off the bottom. And now we can start adding some gravy. Let's go about right there for now. Get this spread around a little bit. And then start scraping up the bottom some. We got a little bit more moisture we can soak up there. About that much. That might be enough. I always, see, here's the thing, you don't have to use all that you put down, you know? But I tell you what, there's a little bit of moisture left. I want to make a lot of gravy. I'm gonna go ahead and use it all. You don't have to use it all. I'm choosing to. You see how this is turning into a nice paste? And I'm cooking all of the white out of it. That's, dude, yeah, oh, we lost a little. You want this stuff to be good. Now, you want this stuff to be good. You want to cook all of the lack of color out of it. You want to not be able to see any of the color in this or any of the white at all. So now we're about to get some smoke. That's the rest of 1 box of broth. Now, a lot of people, when they're making gravy, they'll get to a point like this and be like, oh man, we're almost there. Oh, look, it looks like gravy. We got gravy. You don't got gravy yet. Okay. That means the stuffing has been in the oven for 25 minutes. Y'all see how slowly I'm pouring this in now? Because I added the extra flour, and also y'all see the bottom of the pan now? Look at that. Like, see how clean the bottom of the pan is? All of that white flour now has adopted the color of everything that was on the bottom of the pan, you see. I know I'm gonna need a good bit of this in here, so I'm gonna, don't do this. Don't do as I do. I'm oversaturating it right now, only because I need to step away from it for a second. But generally, you will not want to ever step away from your gravy. It's still way too thick, but this will give me a second to do what I need to do here, which is pull this aluminum foil off. Be careful, the aluminum foil isn't hot, but the steam coming out of your... Now I'm going to turn the broiler on and start that. Set the timer for 4-minute increments. All right, now you see the bubbling. All right, now this is still too thick. We're not ready for that yet. We still have a ways to go, many miles before we rest. So I'm going to amp up, now that I've got a good gauge of exactly how thick this is after you leave it for a second. I am going to, until it gets to about the consistency of a mud puddle. To where it's, you see how it ripples comfortably, like it's all liquid basically. You want it to get to that point and come back. For me, the way I make gravy, I want it to get to this point right here and come back from this point a couple times. And this is going to be a lot of gravy that we're making because I want to have ample gravy for the rice. I want to have ample gravy for the stuffing as well. By the way, we got stovetop stuffing in the oven right now that has about 4 chicken thighs that I pulled apart. And there's some shredded, some chunks. I wasn't really uniform with how I do any of that. I just took 2 forks and just pulled it just like pork. And now we're just experiencing our life right now for the next however long. Now that this is not being used any longer, I'll peel the aluminum foil off of this meat press and give it a good once over underneath. I like to wrap my meat press. I like to wrap my meat press in a little aluminum foil before I use it. You guys see the bubbling starting to occur in the gravy. I'm going to let it do that for just a second to cook off some of some of the liquid in it. And the next time you guys see me stir it in just a second, it will be noticeably thicker. The ripples will be tighter. They won't move as freely like liquid does. And it'll start to look a little bit more like gravy, after which point I may add a little bit more chicken broth. There's a chance I don't need any more chicken broth. But you have to let your food tell you when it's ready. For as far as timing things, like how the baking is going now with the stovetop stuffing, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm just giving it a good college try. Now you see what I mean? How right where it was hot, it's still kind of liquidy, but around the edges here, how it's real, like you see how it's slowly, like more like not as much like a mud puddle, more like pre-mixed concrete almost. Can you guys see all the flakes and little flecks of that stuff on the bottom of the pan? 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Let's see here. I'm going to just take that out right now because I don't have enough time to I'm going to leave the broil on just a second, but that looks pretty much like what I wanted right there. All right, if I got the 10-minute warning, I don't. I'm just gonna add a little bit more broth. Right there, like about that much. You see how it's creating that, now that rippling effect is a little bit more fluid. So this is this is the process that I make my gravy. Every batch of gravy is a fingerprint. You're never gonna, if you make gravy like this and not use your little packets that you get, which I'm not hating on the packets. I use them sometimes whenever I just need a small amount for something specific. The other day I did some instant mashed potatoes, a couple of cans of the green beans and corn, and then like a instant package of gravy. I made like a at-home KFC famous bowl with green beans. So now it's getting to a consistency that I like at this level of where it's at. You have to kind of, and I cook a lot of gravy, so I kind of can tell when it needs what. A lot of people would have been, like, I've probably added broth twice to where a lot of people would have just omitted that. But I don't know why. This has just been process of elimination over however many years I've been making gravy. But I've found that the more often you introduce liquid in a smaller amount, ends up yielding you a more flavorful and cohesive gravy. There's a word that you don't get to say a lot when you're talking about gravy. Cohesion. But, so I'm feeling, okay, so there's a difference in the thickness. So this thickness I was feeling just then was because it was more aerated, kind of, because of the boil, creating the, basically the molecules are enlarged, they feel more bubbly. So that's not what I was feeling earlier. I was feeling more resistance to the paste that we had created. So I think I might be good now on the amount of liquid that we've got in there. After this has been out for a second, I want to see if I can looks pretty crispy on the sides. And I'm a wild man, guys. I'm going to put this back in here for 2 minutes. 2 minutes and that's it. Now, also at this point, still no 10-minute timer on the rice yet. That means we still got more than 10 minutes left of that. So at this point, you're starting to notice that you can see the bubbles throughout, even as I'm stirring here. And you may ask, if you don't know anything about gravy or how things are made, why do you stir so much? Well, because you don't want to burn this. It's already, I say this a lot, it's already made from things that were burnt on the bottom of this pan already. You don't want to double down on that. You want to help what's hot get to the top. You're basically just releasing the heat from the bottom. You're doing exactly what it's bubbling up to do, like they're coming up to the top to cool off, and you're just kind of agitating that process in a good way. It's kind of like life. Sometimes you just feel like, man, I sure have been stirring for a while. And then you end up getting rewarded with some delicious gravy at the end. And that's what we're hoping for. Guys, like the video if you enjoy the content, and all subscribe if you don't mind. If you're enjoying this, we got a sub goal. Okay, that's our 2 minutes. Now we got to get this out of here. I'm a wild man for this. Ooh, come on. Okay, come on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right, we're going to cancel that. Turn that off. Yeah, I'm liking that. Oop. All right, back to our gravy. 10-minute timer? Nope, not yet still. Yeah, that's what I want right there. I'm happy with this. Now, as it cooks that broth out of it, it's going to thicken up. And I'm going to start dropping the heat in a little bit. I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I still want to cook off a little bit of the moisture. I know that this might be a little redundant in some people's train of thought as far as how this goes, but I like to do this multiple times. Like, I like to add too much liquid, kind of, so that it makes me take more time with it. It forces me to slow down and wait for it to do its thing. Like, I'm going to let it bubble for just a second, but you guys will be able to see. Did you just see when I went right in there? The resistance? Like, you see how more of the gravy is moving out of the way, further on, like further away from it. But if this, okay, well, we can drop this down to that guy now. You guys can hear the bottom of that pan. I'm meeting no resistance down there. All of that cooked on flavor from those chicken thighs, all of that is in here. Yeah, I have definitely not going to add any more chicken broth. Put this in the fridge for another day. Got some beef and chicken broth in here. I did this with beef broth the other day. I don't like it as much. I like the chicken better. The chicken broth, I think, makes some more. I don't know. The beef is too rich. The chicken is more passive of a flavor. And I want that in a gravy. I don't want the gravy to steal the show. It's an accompaniment. Like it's not a main course. But beef gravy feels very main coursey. And I don't want that. Has it got the 10-minute timer yet? Yeah. Did I speak too soon? Do I want to add a little bit more broth? You know what, guys? I know I'm a crazy person. And I know this might not make sense, but something is telling me something. I got a little, just that. I don't know why. I believe it was asking for a little bit more water, a little bit more liquid. I used a much higher amount of flour and mix that I usually use because I wanted to make more. And in doing the math, we probably got somewhere around I don't know, what's that? About a third, a little bit more than a third, closer to a half of a cup of flour, maybe between a third and a half a cup, roughly. And probably somewhere around 4 cups of liquid, along with the butter and grease that was already in here. And just adding that little bit more broth. It probably, I don't know if it was even necessary. Like I said, you got to listen to your food. You have to listen to your dish. Your dish will tell you what it needs. If you're good enough at cooking the thing, you'll be able to listen to it. And now I've incorporated all of the fresh stock that I just added. Now let's see if we got a little, ooh. Hear that? That's what we was looking for right there. Now you get to the point of stirring the bubbles out of it. You really want to stir the bubbles out of this. I always say, this is the heat. I haven't dropped the heat yet. This is the same cooking temp that I cooked the chickens on. This is your life now, folks. We just stirring gravy. We just big time gravy stirs tonight. Some days we perform live music in front of people. Some days we be lock picking on Oblivion. shut in oblivion gaze. Some days we just stir in gravy. And I always quote one of the finest of American foods and one of the finest of American brands that somewhat encourages people to cook when they want to cook something easy or they don't know a lot about cooking and it's a nice introduction to cooking. I don't think that there is a product in the world that helps introduce people into the form of real cooking than Hamburger Helper. Something that I love so much. As growing up the way I did, we ate a lot of Hamburger Helper. But Hamburger Helper has a little wisdom on the box that I always reference when we're making gravy. And that wisdom is reduce heat and let simmer. Sauce will thicken as stands. So the way it'll tell you if it needs more liquid is on high heat, which is, for me, high heat is medium. I never cook anything higher than medium unless I'm boiling water and I need to boil water fast. Everything else goes on low or medium, but no higher than medium, just literally 50%. So if it is thickening up, see, that ain't gravy right there. At any point through here, it just falls through, like you're not able to scoop, and it's dripping like liquid and water. So now, what do we got? 4 minutes? What's over here? 4 minutes. 4 minutes on the rice. I'm going to drop this to about 30%. And I'm just going to continue stirring. I'm going to stir the bubbles out of it. And I'm going to see when I stop, the bubbles start back immediately. I'm dropping the heat and I'm letting it do its thing now. And to be honest, you hear that, guys? So I always do the ripple test from this way, the swipe test. So it's not quite there yet, but eventually I'll be able to see the pan underneath this gravy. No matter how much gravy you make in the pan, you'll be able to do a swipe to where you'll be able to see the gravy. This ripple here that you guys see will eventually go away as well. And I'm dropping the heat gradually. That way I'm not shocking it. Like, I'm not removing the heat completely yet. I want to do that slowly. I just think that it makes for a better gravy. All right, this rice is about to beep. we got some little black ants that show up. And I don't know where the fuck they come from. Little tiny. Okay, now it's starting to look like gravy. You see the film that it accrues on top? That means rice is ready and it's staying warm. You know what? I put some of this butter in with the rice and give that a work around. Pull from the bottom and just mix some butter in here with the rice. And you use this little cake icing thing. They say use a fork to fluff up the rice, which I guess, yeah, but I'm not going to use a metal fork in my rice cooker's pan. Stir in the butter and maybe give it a little bit of salt. All right. See, now that bubbling, I'm going to go ahead and bring that heat down more on super low because the rice is done. And the second that some of this heat comes out of this gravy, it's going to be done. And we're getting close. You can see from the edge a little bit. It's still rippling over there. That will not be the case for long. And now, here's what we get to do. Because, you know, we cook this stuff. Here's what we get to do. We get to do cool stuff like this. Because there's no rules in this restaurant. I cook this with my bare hand. Like, and now I'm eating it with my bare hands. Take this time, if you haven't yet, to go ahead and wash the pot that you initially boiled the stovetop stuffing in. That way, you ain't gonna gotta worry about that. And now where does that guy go? I'm gonna let him go in the dishwasher. There we go. And that's put away. That is put away. You see that now, guys? That film on the top. That's what you want. It's getting there. You see the pan for a second there in that swipe. You see the darkness in that swipe. wonder. Let me think. You know what? Here. Let's break our rule a little bit. Let's go back up to a little higher than medium. I think it needs a little bit more heat to cook a little bit more of that flour, or what's the word I'm looking for? To cook a little bit more of the moisture out of it. I'm actually going to let it like get to a significant bubble, and then I'm going to pull the heat back down. Oh, but look at this piece right here. Look at that. So good. I'm gonna figure out where these. It's Texas, and you get things like this all the time. But I don't know where these ants come from. Like, we're pretty fucking clean here. There we go. Hell yeah. Now it feels like it's thickening up in a way that I want it to. This right here, though, like, you guys, you hear that? That's exactly what I wanted from this. And it's cooled off nice too. All right, now we'll bring the heat back down to that low temp that it was at. And I'm going to stir the bubbles out of it until the eye cools down a bit. And then it does, like, this is a lot of people don't like to do this. This does take effort. This takes time to do, and it takes patience. And unfortunately, to do it the way that I do it, you can't rush it. And if you try to rush it, it's like gravy's like an old mule. It will plow the field for you, but you gotta work with it. You know, an old mule's like, you know, I've been doing this shit for years. I'll get to it. Calm down. Give me a minute. I'm hot. I'm cold. I need more heat. I need more liquid. All right. I think I've stirred the bubbles out of it. Yeah. All right, good. That's what we want to see right there. Get me a bowl. Some rice in a bowl. of rice. Ready for some gravy. All right. Now you'll see the difference in what I'm talking about. I'm going to do the swipe test. It's going to work. You see that? See how you can see the bottom of the pan now? And it doesn't rush back? That's what I was talking about. Like, Like, see that? That's your swipe test. That's how you know you've got good gravy here. It's thickened up in all the right ways. It's thickened up in all the right ways, like that girl from high school you think about sometimes. Wonder how she's doing. What she's thinking about. If she's thinking about you. But nothing I love more than this right here, dude, is like, look at that. I started doing this because you guys can, you remember all of that flavor that was on the bottom of the pan? It's like, look, now this gravy is I can push it to one side basically, and it kind of stays for a second. That's what you want in your gravy. And because we've gotten to that, I'm going to take this heat all the way off. Can I touch this yet? That's good. That's good too. Pull that there. Now, let's just pull this gravy clean off the heat. And you guys saw I gave the stove a quick wipe down. Oh, one more thing. Here's just something I like to do. You see this chicken's been sitting here for a minute? I like to pour just a little bit of the juice from the plate. And like Grandma, I leave little balled up pieces of paper towel sitting around for moments like that. We need to wipe up something from the bottom. Just a little bit of the juices that chicken has yielded as it was cooling on the plate. Add that at the end. And now you guys can see the swipe even works from the middle now. And y'all, this right here is a meal. Let's give y'all a better angle of it. Tell me if does the mic still on? What's up, madam? Good to see you. What's up, alien? Good to see you. This is what we got. We got a this came out good, you guys. Here, you guys hear this? So that's that for the stuffing. Look at all of the flavor that we got in this gravy here. And you guys saw that we had so much. Yeah, I just unplugged the power, and the power was also plugged into the mic. So we got so much of this, and you see all of that flavor that was on the bottom of the pan is now all in that gravy, and it's doing beautiful things over here with all the flavor that's in it. And also these chicken thighs, which I love a good chicken thigh. This is one of my favorite cuts of chicken. It's very flavorful. It's damn near impossible to overcook. So yeah, we got chicken thighs, some stuffing, and rice and gravy. And that's that. We're gonna let it do its thing for a moment. I'm gonna let that gravy get comfortable, because gravy needs to get comfortable. Always been a thigh man myself. I mean, who don't like thighs? All I gotta say is, if you choose the breast over the thigh, that just means that you're not in it for the flavor, friend. That just means that you are not in it for the flavor. And as far as I'm concerned, if not for the flavor, then why at all? Okay. We got our little thermometer cleaned. Put away these boxes. I can take the paper, can come out. The cardboard can get recycled. And yeah, here. You guys want to see another? Now look at this. Now look at the look, man. I've been known to put away a box in my day. Now, what you guys don't know is that in here, you see, I like there's little pieces of chicken. There's little pieces of, if like you lose, if one of the chickens loses something in battle, then we allow it to, we allow the chicken to stay in the dish. It still gets to be part of the thing. All right, let me make sure. Yeah, that's fine. So this is the angle we're going to be going for there. I didn't do the, oh, you know what? I'm just going to keep that angle like that. This is how we're going to do this. So where is the, here's the other plate. All right. Butter knife. Now this is like, stovetop stuffing is just a fucking poor American tradition here. What's the, oh, I know what. This will be the best thing to use. This guy. So I think this should scoop out. Nice little portion. Here's the dressing. You guys get to see the, like, and look at the texture around the edges of the dressing there. Get to see a lot of nice little crispy edge. And you know what? Who am I kidding? I'm getting 2 of these. Who am I kidding? I make the rules here, damn it. There's that. We got a couple thighs here. And how do we do this? Well, there's only one way. We get a big scoop of gravy on top of both of these guys, and then just a little across those guys, just like that. And then for the rice and gravy, you know that you have decent gravy if the gravy is separate from the rice. Like you can see the gravy, but not see the rice coming up through it. So here's our meal. There's a thumbnail for you. Let me bring this over here, and I'm coming back for you guys. Do not worry. Do not fret. Got everything I need from over here. Whoa! All right. Same angle. Should be good. From about right there. A little bit of ice. Now, where is the, never mind, I found it and quit looking. I just tasted the gravy, it's good. A little spoon action, a little spooning. And here's something I don't need to brag about, but I will. I usually don't like to, because surely I'm gonna jinx myself, but I also made all of this gravy, all of this delicious gravy. I fried up all of these chicken thighs. I literally fried up all them chicken thighs, made all the gravy, the stuffing. I did all of that. And I'm coming in here to a room with good lighting to show you guys. Look at my shirt. Do you notice anything about it? Other than a giant belly in it? Well, maybe. That's not even, see, that's like, that's something I wiped off. White t-shirt, clean white t-shirt after all of that gravy. Y'all watch me do it. There's no magic here. There's no magic or anything here. I want to leave this like this. Hold on. Oh yeah, you guys hold tight right there. You guys can see the fan. Oh, let's go. Hold on. There we go, back. Hold on a second. Let me just put it. Hold everything. We're just going to have a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to go back in there, and we are going to destroy that grub. I don't know what kind of wizardry it is that I am permitted to take part in, but whatever it is, it allows me to make giant sums of gravy and rice and chicken thighs and things while maintaining a clean shirt. Just saying. And oh, that is so tasty. Just saying. Whatever kind of magic that is, it works. All right. Let me get my monitor phone with the chat on it from over here. Put you guys over here. And there we are. Good Lord. All right. So now, first things first, I know the chicken thighs are good. I've tasted the gravy. The gravy is bomb. The only thing I have not tried yet is the stovetop stuffing. So as of right now, because I have no information on it, the stovetop stuffing could be the worst thing here. I know none of the other stuff is bad. I'm gonna go right in here to this portion on the corner here, around the edge. And this is gonna be our first bite. This is our first stovetop stuffing bite with gravy. This is good. I want more of it right now. And holy shit. And have we done it again? And Henry Aaron has now hit 715 home runs. And oh my God. And I'm already sad for when there's no more of this. But seriously, here, I'll give you this is gonna be a big bite right here. Look at this. Look at how it's holding together. You see some of the chicken in there. You see the gravy on top. I'm blocking the light. You see the gravy on top there, coming through nice. There's chicken thigh inside it. It's just regular stovetop stuffing. It's crispy where you want it to be crispy. And it is nice and airy. It's nice and airy where you want it to be. Dude, I'm gonna go ahead and say the stovetop stuffing could, in fact, be the goat of this meal. Next, I'm doing the rice, and this is how I do it. Just mix it all together good like that. Let's just get a good bite of this. Y'all hush. Y'all better hush. Listen. Listen. This dish is like Quentin Tarantino's entire collection, because after every single one of them, you think this one might be the best. Like, holy shit, guys. I really can't believe how good this is. I mean, I can, actually that's not true. I can believe it because I made it. And I make this dish quite often. It's my favorite, as the title states, this is my favorite chicken dish ever. Cast iron, oh shit. Cast iron pan seared and cast iron and basically pan fried, basically, chicken thighs, non-breaded, seasoned with seasoned salt, Lawry's seasoned salt, fresh cracked black pepper. Oh Lord, look, we got a piece of you see that piece of chicken thigh? That chicken thigh got cooked in with all the gravy. This bite is going to be I never want that to end. Dude. This is nuts, dude. This is literally insane. Like, I know I cook this very dish. Even I'll add the stovetop stuffing from time to time. Even though I add that from time to time, like this is something I kind of cook regularly. It's crispy around the edges and creamy on the inside. And of course, these chicken thighs can come apart with just a fork. Just good and crispy. Here's what I want to do. Oh no, 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 no. I want this. Dude. This stuffing is incredible. Like seriously, get a load of this. Look at that. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna get another piece of this stuffing to go on top of this piece of chicken here. Well, where do you go from here? Like, for what I wanted to create, and I always tell people this whenever I cook, like I'm not I'm not the healthy guy. I know people always say things like, "Oh, you really should be healthier. You should, live longer. Care about yourself." Yada yada yada. Like, look, I've lived that life already. I want to eat good food. I've already been that guy once in life. And, like, to be perfectly honest, I just can't. I just had like a little therapy here. Um, some of the last years that I had my grandmother before she passed, I was obsessed with working out and diet, like in shape, like ridiculous stamina, ridiculous body. Like I was there, and there would be many times that I would go home and my mother would have cooked something that I would not eat because it wasn't a part of my diet, and I couldn't eat it, quote unquote. And now that she can't cook anymore, I like to cook food in the way that she did, my way of keeping her alive. This is how you become immortal. The great Mabel Hudgens is no longer here with us in this earthly plane, but she is here in this. As weird as that sounds that I'm eating, but she lives in the preparation of this and the process of the stirring and the explaining to you why she would do that. When she saw that I was getting interested in cooking, she would start to explain to me why she would do things. Wait, the mic? All right, hold on a second. Let me see here. When she saw that I was getting interested in cooking, she would start to explain to me why she would do things. What about now? I unplugged the mics altogether. Now I'm going to plug this back in and see if it's different. Let's see. What about now? I unplugged the mic. Now I'm going to plug this back in and see if it's different. All right. Let's see. What about now? I unplugged the mic. Is it still making a fuzzy sound? Hold on, I'm going to mute this for a second just so I can hear. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not good. Okay, now is it good after I plug the things back in? Okay, sorry. Okay, hell yeah. Well, but yeah, that's basically what I'm getting at, is that I like cooking food this way. And I probably have I never really had that realization before until now, was that I cook almost like exactly how she cooked. And maybe that's because I passed out. I passed on a lot of dishes I shouldn't have while she was around. Let me know if the mic starts doing it again. I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Because the one on the stove back there is still plugged in too. Dude, it's nuts how good this stuffing is. A little stuffing with a big old hunk of chicken. I'm gonna cut a nice clip out of this video of that gravy. The process of making good gravy. That's gonna be a good clip. These cooking videos, I'm glad that they're. This is something that I'm really. This is something I'm like. I've only been playing games for maybe a couple years now, but I've been cooking for a really long time, so I'm like super passionate about this stuff. So I'm glad that people are seeing this now finally. Like us and the OGs, it was me, Pooter, and Jason in here for a long time. And now we got homies, don't we, homies? Velvet's been here. P4 has been here. Like it used to be just a handful of us all the time, but now we have so many new friends. And welcome to you guys. I'm glad you are all here. It means a lot. Lord, no, Blue Velvet. We do not want that to happen again. Especially if I've got this thing set up in front. I don't know. That bowl of rice and gravy, pretty wild. So it's hard to pick what the best part of this is, but my gut is, my literal gut is telling me that it's probably the stuffing. But the thighs are good. They always come out good. I like to cook them until they get a little burnt on the outside, on the edge. They may always be a little overdone, considering what is it, what the scientists say you got to cook it to this temp. It definitely gets to 165, but I go past that. I like the different flavor of the Maillard effect that it gives the meat But what we call it in the South is just burn them. Like that's just a big thing. Is if you want to make like an accurate Southern anything, kind of burn it. Like, but not in like a, not in like a, I don't know, not in an aggressive way. Like, burn it on low heat. You know. Like on medium heat. Like this right here. Like see, this isn't burnt. That's just flavor in there. Like, that's what I want. Man. This is some damn fine dressing right here. Like the video if you wish you could take this bite right here. I mean, hard to beat this. I have enough gravy left. For everything else to get a measure of it. But I think I'm just gonna save it separately. I would usually marry the gravy with the rice a little bit to kind of give the rice something else to moisten it up so that it doesn't just turn into those little chunky rock style, like you know how refrigerated rice gets. So I'm trying to maybe prevent that. By adding a little gravy to it. But I might not do that this time. Either way, let's decide. Uh-oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to knock you around like that. Maybe here. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Okay. Big sip of Pepsi. Right before we get to doing the most important part of any cook, really, is the cleaning. You gotta clean. It's just part of how it is. It's part of what needs to be done. First things first, choosing the appropriate Tupperware for the gravy. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one. Actually, no, we're not gonna go with this one. We'll let that one stay for spaghetti sauces. This one then maybe. Is this the lid for it? It is not the lid for it. Where's the lid for this guy? Wait. Oh, here we go. Never mind. Quit looking. Found what I needed right here. This. So, and now, uh-oh. That's how we end up with a surplus of gravy, as you see. Now, I need to cut a little sliver of this stuffing off here. Just a little sliver of this stuffing. And I'm going to put it in this pan. And live my absolute best life for a moment. Like, just a little stuffing and the remaining amount of gravy that's in here in the pan and in the spoon. This is really how you do it. I don't know about you guys, but this is how you gotta do it. And I'm taking a piece of chicken to rub the rest of this gravy off of that spoon. This shit's too good to let anything go to waste. Now, no, not that one. Honestly, I think I can find. Can I find some room for that whole pan in here? Yeah. I got some room here. All right. Combine some space. Now I can just use, if y'all notice, this is the original aluminum foil I took off in the oven as it was cooking. It just perfectly slips right back on. And one thing to check with, this is a free tip for you. If you put a baked item into the refrigerator in the pan that it was baked in, check all surfaces, especially underneath, because this could feel comfortably cool on the sides, but underneath is still hot. So at that point, you just want to sit it on a cool countertop. Let that come back down to room temperature. It's not going to go bad. It's not going to spoil and get you sick. Don't freak out. All right. I can probably fit what little rice in here that I'm going to keep. And the rest of this rice can go to Valhalla, for it has fought a good war. I can probably get another little, maybe a little more. Shit, maybe a little more. Maybe this right here. It's rice, it'll press down, right? All right, we're gonna see if this will work. I'm overpacking this Tupperware with rice, and I'm gonna see if I can just convince it to fit. Looks like it. So we got a good bit of rice here to go with our gravy. That's cooling. These paper towels can come over here. Gonna need those there. This guy, dishwasher. Now, I usually hand wash my dishes. I just recently started doing the dishwasher. Now, a dishwasher is a nice tool to have. But unfortunately, some dum-dum who wanted to sell their brand of dishwashing detergent made a commercial with someone putting an entire cake in a pan in the dishwasher and turning it on, and after the cake was done, put it in the pan, and after the running of the dishwasher was done, the cake was gone and the pan was clean, which really gave a couple generations of people permission to do really bad jobs at cleaning their dishes. You have to think of a dishwasher as the second step and not the only step. Because if you don't do that, you're going to end up with dirty dishes when you take them out. All it takes is a good rinse. Before you put something in the dishwasher. Super hot water. And if you have a good sprayer like I got that's got really good pressure on it, it's basically like having a pressure washer here. All right, those are going in there. Now, there's certain things that have to be hand washed, much like this rice cooker basin. I don't know if it can't go in the dishwasher. I never put it in there. This icing spreader that I use for the rice can go in there. This we wash by hand, but this is a smooth interior. Doesn't have a lot of surface for things to cling to. So cleaning something like this is very easy. There we go. Now this, I go ahead and get dried off because this is part of a greater thing. It's part of this rice cooker here. And using a rice cooker, it builds condensation. So a couple of the processes in cleaning this thing is drying this off. Then you will always have a built-up amount of condensation on the bottom of the lid here. Then just make sure to get all the moisture out from underneath this lip in here. You don't want moisture to be stored in here because this is going to be shut and dark. You do not want moisture in a dark space. It also accrues a little moisture back here in this little thing. So I just turn it to the side, let it drip out into that paper towel, whatever's in it. And then, boom, boom. And just like a good rice cooker, the cable goes right back together, just like it wanted to. Slips right through, and look at that. Nice, compact cabinet. We don't use a rice cooker every day. It stays in the cabinet. All right. Now, the plate that the chicken is on can be washed, and we can put the chicken here. I got some paper plates here. We will get one of these and give it a little, give it a little flipperooski. Look at all that flavor on the bottom of that plate. I'm gonna let it go. Now this is my favorite plate. I use it every day. So I hand wash this guy. And he lives right here in this vertical drying rack. Just a regular plate. It's from Amazon Basics. I don't even know where it came from, to be honest. Well, obviously Amazon, but honestly, that's got a little left. Enough for maybe one more plate. This is a bad idea. Oh, no. All right. There we go. Now, the chicken, the rice, and the gravy. Well, shit. Fuck, hold on, all right. Hold on. I can put these here. And then, how cool is this pan now? All right, it's still a little warm, but there's nothing around it. You have to just be careful when you put a warm pan in the oven. Because if it's hot, like excessively hot, that's bad. That will start to cook. It's basically like putting a small oven in your refrigerator. Like a tiny little oven emanating heat into your refrigerator. You do not want that. I think that's all I'm going to put in the dishwasher. Is this ready to run? Nah, got a little bit longer we can go. Okay. Now, the fun part. I get all evidence of soap out of the way here, get that going hot. Bring this cast iron pan in here and hit that sucker with the pressure washer. I just rinse it out. Hot water. Don't be afraid. It's something you've cooked. You've already touched every part of this. Use your hands. Get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid of that. Use your fingers to work into the sides of the pan to get that gunky build up gravy off the side. Use your hands. It's fine. That way you can also feel where there's more stuff to rub off. And then, once you're done with that, make sure your steel wool is also like good and rinsed off. You've been washing shit with soap. It's been sitting in the sink. Just make sure to get all the soap and nasty junk out of there. And then just a little bit of water in the pan. And just come around with that steel wool like that. And then you're good. Give it a nice wipe around the edge here. And that's that. And then paper towels. Give the interior of it a good wipe. The whole thing. This isn't like forged from multiple things. This is an element. Iron is an element. Is one thing. Now, after you've wiped that whole thing, all these paper towels you had left, I say it every one of these live streams, and somebody made a meme the other day and I shared it. And everybody's like, oh, I never thought of that before. Well, I do this every time. All these old paper towels that you were going to use that to clean off the stove. And then your sponge, squeeze most of the water out of it. And then come in there with your sponge you wash dishes with. And you just come in here. The stove is the last dish to wash. There's that. All right. And then you can toss the other paper towels. You use some fresh towels for this next step. And just a couple of paper towels. And there you go. Just give it a wipe down. And now, there it is. Nice and clean. Ready for the next meal. Go ahead and put that cast iron skillet back on the heat at low heat. Low heat. Put that thing back down. And we were dealing with chicken over here on this side of the counter. So we're gonna hit this counter with the same treatment. Same treatment, and then give it a good wipe down. And now all that residue left from the seasonings and all that good stuff is all gone now. So now This pan stays on low. I can already feel some heat coming in, so it is on. Let me go out here. Let's see if this thing will, these mics pick up in the garage. Bam. All right. Don't want that trash bag full of chicken wrappings and containers sitting in here overnight. So that's going to be on for a bit. Sink is clean. All of the dishes are washed. All the dishes washed. Pepsi. The reason I do that, top that off with ice. The reason that I do that with the cast iron is because if you don't cook with cast iron, you can't. I don't wash it with soap. You apparently can. I don't. My grandmother didn't. I don't. So you seal the cast iron with oil or shortening or some sort of lard. I used Crisco today. Next time I'm probably going to use canola oil. Those are not great oils to use. You should use avocado oil or something like that, a high smoke point. But I use what I got because that's how people did it for hundreds of years, thousands of years, I'm sure. Just use what you got. Let me get this before I forget about it. I was thinking putting this away. Ooh, here's the difference with close to the mouth and away. I heard myself say it. I didn't like it either. I didn't. I heard how it came out. But you want all of the moisture out of that before you seal it. You do not want moisture to be sealed inside a cast iron because that is how you cause explosions when you got a little moisture that's seeped in there that can't get out whenever you get it hot. That's how you get cracks. That's how your cast iron explodes. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. Okay. I think that let me refill my water jug while we're here because we're about to go dive into a game and you guys can just stay where you're at. We're just gonna redirect the stream. Maybe I'll fill this up too so I don't have to do it tomorrow. I did some things tonight that I'm not gonna have to do tomorrow. I got gas tonight on the way home, so I don't have to do it tomorrow. And that's enough in there. All right. Let's get a little more ice. nice in the water jug. The cast iron is coming along nice. Kill those overhead lights. Put it in neutral. Shotgun stalls with the beefcake pantyhose. I'm not gonna be able to get all of this. I have to come back for something. Yeah. Where is this? All right. I can go there. Just gotta sit all of this nonsense down. And in just a second, guys, I'm gonna leave that microphone there. I'm gonna all right, hang tight right there in the normal spot for just a moment. Got the mic taken off. I gotta hit the head real fast. I gotta run back. Do one more check of the kitchen. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I gotta grab my grocery bag. Here can stay on the counter. I need to take that back to my truck tomorrow. These paper towels. Put this coaster back. And let me see, make sure this is, oh yeah, I'm feeling some heat coming off of it. Cast iron's gonna do its thing for another, I'll say, hour. I'll let it sit on that heat for about an hour to make sure all the moisture's out of it. And then yeah, let it sit for just a minute, make sure all the moisture's out of it, and then let it cool on its own. Door shut. The way is shut. The monitor phone that I use for the camera here. Let's get this taken apart. Battery pack out of there. While we've got it here, we may as well go ahead and get it freshly charged. Mama Gamer. Mama Gamer. Hello. Hello. Okay, actually, let me move my fresh green tea there. And get this guy plugged in to charge. Get this guy turned on. Turn me on, dead man. And get that going there. Now's the fun part. Now, I'm done with this guy. Let's put this guy right there. Now is the fun part. Okay. And for the stream, somewhat presentable. Guitar. Just right up and down. Just like that. Let me. Got that. And let's get OBS opened up here. I don't need this guy. Oh, I know. I know there's some other thing that I had in here that no longer is there anymore, and it's necessary that you let me know every time that thing's no longer there. Thank you, OBS. We got Frankie over there. Frankie, you hold still, will you? That's fine. He'll be all right. Need some wind circulating. Let's see. And all right. Now everything else I need to do is on the screen. Green tea. Let's get us a little. I do enjoy the taste of a delicious soft drink. Well, let's get a little cherry Pepsi. Oh shit! Watch out, Mama. I'm telling you, this is like a. I call that. I've named my bed Bill Cosby because it's impossible to stay awake around it. For some reason. Anyhow. We got it here. And we go to this. Okay, actually, I need to bring you guys down here. And open OBS camera. Oh, hey. Click. And that should come on there. And that is a much tighter frame than this phone. The tightness of the frame. I love how I leaned over into the mic even though it's over here. Now, by the way, shout out to Nick Satchel. This is what it is. This is the little microphone that just like with a little it clips onto my or anything metal. Okay. All right, we got OBS good. Go to stage left. Now restream. We'll Time we got 3:01. Perfect. Give us enough time to do a couple hours maybe. Part 11, 362, a remastered. Late Night in Cyrodiil, remastered. Update all. Close enough. Late Night in Cyrodiil, remastered. Yonder Live. Yada yada. All right. Now I have, let's see what all I have to do here. Nothing to do there. Nothing to do here. Minimize that. That is good to go. I will need this opened up and ready to do a little.
Stop me, beautiful!
I mean, he said it, I didn't. All right, little sip of the Peps. A little sip of the Boca de Pepsi. And a little. Ooh. You know what? I got a picture for the Discord. Oh wait, do I even have Discord on this phone? I do. This is gonna be the worst picture ever from this old ass phone. By the way, if you guys are not in the Discord, please join. It's in the description, like kind of close to the bottom. Let's get a flash on it. This is the worst. This is gonna be the worst photo ever in the green tea channel. I just posted this thing because it's taken with an iPhone 7. An iPhone 7 I took that picture with. Please join the Discord. We have a good time in there. We meet up from time to time, hang out in the voice chat, and such and so on and so forth, and whatchamacallit, and this and that and the other. You know? All right. Now, let me get on this screen here. And you guys aren't going to have to do anything at all. I'm going to... Everything's right, right? Double check. You got to triple check this stuff before you go live. Late Night in Cyrodiil. Title's good. Scenes are good. Camera's hot when I'm ready for it. Mic's off until I'm ready for it. I will have to do a little magic in between. And yeah, let's do it. Start. You guys don't have to do anything at all. Just stay where you are. All right. And let's cook my favorite. Customization. Redirect to Late Night in Cyrodiil. Save. Right. So Late Night in Cyrodiil. Now let's go ahead and get a little intro music. This comforts me. This may sound like eerie, creepy nonsense to most people. This comforts me. This part is always for me. It gives me a little bit of a, okay, you're in my mind is always haunted. And I mean, like, I'm always in my mind, I'm always somewhere in like a haunted forest or something like that. Like, that's where I live constantly in my mind. This sounds like the soundtrack of my thoughts and the way I don't know. I just love the back and forth shuffle of it. It's nice. This is for me. This calms me down enough to where I'm like, okay, this is fine. We're all good here. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. And then after that, I can go into our breakfast song. And this is for everybody else. This gets everybody else up and at 'em, you know? Said please for breakfast. So, all right. On this video currently, please like the video. Please like the video. Please join the Discord. It's a good time. Down in the description, there's a link all the way in the bottom. Go jump in the Discord. You'll see it. It says Discord right above it. Please join the Discord if you'd like. Like the video if you'd like. Subscribe to the channel if you would like. You know, I'm not the boss of anybody. Do what you will. Do what you will with your time. But that being said, we are all going to be regrouping over in another stream here in just a second. As soon as this breakfast song is over with, we are going to be jumping over into the gaming studio stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the cooking. It was a good cook followed by a good clean. Boy, I'm telling you, the cleaning part is as important as the cooking part. All the beauty of flavor that you get to enjoy with what you've cooked, you owe it to the thing that helped you prepare that. To clean it. You owe it to it. All right. Better stay away from my breakfast. Saved. All right. Now here's where we transition to the intro, which gives us a minute or so of time, which is exactly enough time for me to end this stream for you guys to jump over right as we pick up over there. Don't go anywhere, guys. You are going to be enjoying where you end up. I promise. I give you my word, and I'll see y'all over there. Boy, you look good. Has anybody told you how good you look today? Because if not, I'm glad to be the first. But if I'm not the first, then shame on all the eyes that have missed that opportunity. Anyway, see you guys over in the